Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another edition of Wrestle, This and
That.
I'm Brother Rick, and this is my co-host.
Brother Don Juan.
Hey, Don, guess what?
What?
We're 6 days past TLC pay-per-view.
That we are.
And we're going to have to get into that, man, because we got a great, tremendous Raw and a good SmackDown this week.
Absolutely.
So let's get into TLC, man. Let's get into the kickoff show with Sasha Banks taking on Becky for the kickoff show. Of course, you know, Sasha and her puts on a great show as always, and Becky tremendously every day and every week continue to do good every match that she has. I say this every week because it's a true fact and it's true. But this time she ran up against my girl Sasha Banks with a loss.
Well, we all know what kind of competitor Sasha is in the ring, and it was a good back and forth matchup. And Sasha getting the win. T-Bad's been on a roll. It's been a while since we've seen them.
That is true.
Lose a match, and Sasha one-on-one is as good as they come. Those are the two that need to be competing for number one contender. It's time to. We'll talk about Paige's opportunity later on, but it's time for one of those two girls to step up.
Right. I think they've been on a good display for Raw and SmackDown, and it's about time to go ahead and push them a little forward or whatnot. Let's kick off our first match, and this was the three-way match, tables, ladder, and chairs match with the Lucha Dragons, the Usos, and the New Day. When I say, and you and I both stated last week that this fight here was going to steal the whole pay-per-view, and they exactly did what they said they was going to do. They basically stole the pay-per-view, and New Day owned everything. Great match. From De La Soul from the top all the way to the bottom. I'm telling you, man, this was a great pay-per-view, and it was a great match with the Luchadors basically taking control of the whole match. If you really ask me, they was basically to stop the star group here. But I tell you what, New Day wins and keep hold of their tag team championship belts.
Yeah, everybody laid it out on the line. Everyone put on a great performance. The highlight of the complete night, as you were talking about, was the Selena Del Sol at the top of the ladder, on through another ladder, broke the ladder right in half. Such a great match. And remember, the Lucha Dragons look like they are going to win. And then a little Xavier Woods decides he's going to get some trombone action. He throws the trombone into the back, and Kofi climbs up and pulls down the belts, and New Day rocks. They get the big win. They keep the belt. We
both was wrong on that one. We was expecting a title change.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, but hey, guess what? Like we said, it was a great match and a match of the night, if you ask me.
It definitely was. And for it to be the first match was, caught me off guard, but at least set the stage. But the only thing about putting it first was the card could only get worse.
yeah. Speaking of worse, I don't know if they would have left this match off the card, it would have been better. But you had Rusev taking on Ryback for the 1800th time. Didn't look good the first, second, and third time last week, and it didn't look good this time at the pay-per-view, even though Rusev get the win.
Yeah, Rusev got the win, and it pretty much played out the same way the other matches, except for we actually did get a win, and we didn't get no decision. Rusev able to get the accolade in, and Ryback had nowhere to go.
There you have it. So the next match.
Next match we had was the Wyatts and the Dudley Boys, and it was a tag team elimination table match. Now, when we did our predictions, I remember I was uncertain of how the rules were. It was that all four people had to go through the table. It was a dominant showing by the Wyatt family. They beat Team Extreme, the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhino. And the only person to get eliminated from the Wyatts was Eric Rowan.
Of course.
And then Braun Strowman eliminates Bubba at the end. It was a great match, though. The chemistry between them was really, really good, and it was great to see the Wyatts show domination.
Well, it's about time. I mean, they have to be on this. If Vince is going to put them on a roll, they got to keep them on a roll for a couple of pay-per-views to show the strength of this family here. With the Wyatts winning, I would say keep pushing them, keep making them the face of evil for the WWE, and keep bringing them some more extreme matches with all type of ECW wrestlers that you have, because they got a lot of them for the watch to beat.
They do. Then our next match was the United States title match. It was Alberto Del Rio defending his title against Jack Swagger. And everybody was wondering what part Zeb Coulter was going to play. If you watched the pay-per-view, none.
He didn't come out. He said, hey, you hurt my feelings. Last Raw, I'm not coming at
Del
all.
Rio says that I don't need him. And then he's done with Mex America because he was listening to a stupid man in a wheelchair. And his words, not mine. And Del Rio was able to get the win on Swagger. And I know a lot of people thought that Zeb was going to come out and help Jack and join with Jack, but that didn't happen either. Jack just said he was going to dedicate all his chair shots on Del Rio to Zeb. Well, he can dedicate chair shot after chair shot, but in the end, Del Rio gets the stomp in the chest and puts him. He was like underneath him was like maybe 7 chairs, so he stomped him in the chest and to the chairs, and Del Rio keeps the title.
Well, I'm kind of a little upset, because I joined Mix America, and now it's no more. So what I do now? What do I do now? I don't get it. I guess I'm by myself.
Yeah, you're by yourself. You just tear that card up. Del Rio says it's no good.
I should have known something was wrong. It wasn't a green card. It was a purple card. So I should have known something was going on. Next match, brother.
Next match, Intercontinental title match. Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens for the title. It was a great match. Not a surprise. The chemistry in the ring was great. And we did. I did say that I believe this was happening, and we did crown a new champion on the night, and it was Dean Ambrose.
Well, I was shocked on that. I didn't take Dean. I took Owens, but great match. This time, Owens didn't run. He basically stayed the whole pay-per-view and fought it out and lost. And
one of the coolest celebrations, right when Dean gets the 3 up off of the Hurricanrana.
Yeah.
He won the match like
not the dirty deed.
He hit the dirty deeds, and Kevin Owens was able to get one finger on the rope right before the referee counted to 3, and then Dean went and reversed the pop-up powerbomb to Hurricanrana. He got the 3 and immediately popped up, jumped over the top of the rope, and dove into the stands as the new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, new champion.
It was quite a sight.
Yeah, it was. But I tell you, man,
what was not quite a sight was the next match that you're about to tell us about.
Well, you got to win things with flair. You know what I'm saying? That's what Charlotte said.
Right.
We're talking about the Divas championship match with Charlotte and Paige. It started out as a good match, and it even looked like Paige was going to win. But guess what? Oh, dirty Ric Flair.
Oh, daddy.
He said, listen, if I'm going to teach you, I'm going to teach you how to win, and I'm going to teach you how to cheat. And very first of all, I'm going to definitely teach you how to cheat, because that's exactly what Ric Flair did. Not Charlotte, Ric Flair.
Well, you're right. Ric Flair did start it after the Rampage. We got a 2 count, looking like we were going to get 3, and yes. Rick took Charlotte's leg and put it on the outside. Dirty. But then, after Paige's attention span was distracted, remember, Charlotte was the one who removed the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And
she wanted to hurt her.
And bashed her face first into it, got the cover, and at least we didn't have to see a figure 8. But yet again, we still had to watch Charlotte keep her title.
Well, we don't want her to keep the title, true to the fact. But with Ric Flair being there, he kind of basically giving it a little meaning to the Divas. He's there. He's cheating for her to keep that belt, which makes it interesting. Without Flair, it wouldn't be interesting at all.
I agree with that.
So let's go to our main event for the TLC WWE World Heavyweight Championship match against Sheamus and our boy, Roman Reigns. I have to say, this match, besides him going through tables and ladders and chairs and the welts that Sheamus had on his back, I mean, these guys put it all on the line at this pay-per-view. And it looks like it really looked like we had a new WWE World Heavyweight Champion with Roman Reigns, but unfortunately, the Alberto Del Rio and Rusev comes out, the League Nation comes out, and super kick by Del Rio in the face of Roman Reigns. And guess what? Sheamus wins and keeps his belt, and he is still the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Roman got the big opportunity, got the advantage. He started making his climb up the ropes. Now remember that even despite being super kicked, Roman was able to finally to get a couple Superman punches.
Yes.
Get into the ring, only to get bro kicked in the face and completely outside the ring.
Beautiful, bro.
And Sheamus climbed the ring. Roman finally slides back in the ring after Sheamus is halfway up. Just enough time to be dazed and glare up and notice that Sheamus was undoing the straps and keeping his title.
He almost cried. He was in pain. He was mad. He thought he had it won, and unfortunately he didn't. And it just seemed like that right at that moment, we got a new Roman Reigns.
Got a totally new Roman Reigns.
What happened? Tell me.
You talk about a man who just snapped. Roman grabbed chairs and he put them into Sheamus. He put them into Del Rio. He put them into Rusev. And really started just going to town on Sheamus when Triple H and Stephanie made their way out.
The boss came down. The boss came down.
And they said, hey, stop.
That's
Stop
TOP.
what you're doing.
TOP. Stop it.
Roman just incensed, began to take his frustration out on Triple H and continued to hit him with chair shot after chair shot. And then took him outside and
Powerbomb.
he went for a power bomb to the table, and table didn't give way.
No, that hurt too.
I know that hurt.
It had to hurt Triple H.
So then Roman decided, I'm going to elbow drop him to this table. And he did pull him to a table. Stephanie screaming that Roman needs to stop, and her husband's in trouble. Get him help.
He's hurt.
And finally Roman's pulled away, and he's halfway up the ramp. And he sees that they're walking Triple H, and he wasn't done, man.
No.
He came running around the apron and gave a vicious spear. And
that put Triple H out.
In that case, he did spear everyone and spare no one. And man, dude, Triple H spinning up all over the place. And
good acting.
Roman just didn't care.
No, Roman, it was a different side of Roman Reigns, a side we should have seen a long time ago. I think he's just frustrated with the League Nations and Sheamus constantly stopping him from reaching that top, from reaching that goal, which is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
And it ended with the night with the crowd chanting, "Thank you, Roman."
Yeah, from taking the little nightmare of Triple H away from us for a little while, because he'll be back. Trust me, he'll be back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our wrap-up of the TLC pay-per-view. Now, right after this, Monday Night Raw.
There you guys.